I'll then go click on Tools, Options, and then ensure that this tick box is selected. Use the client file opened in working papers for UDFs, a user-defined field. Just also on this note, please ensure that we only have one CaseWare file open at a time, else CaseWare and Connector won't be connecting because it doesn't know which CaseWare file to refer to, and generally it will then refer to the first CaseWare file opened. So please don't try and multitask when doing this. Only always have one CaseWare file open. Cool. Now, for the first step, we're going to take it easy. I'm going to click on CaseWare linkage. I will then be selecting that engagement properties on the left-hand side, and the name I want to be pulling, or that I want to pull through, is the operating name. So I'll select operating name. When selecting, always click on the value you want to pull through and not operating name. Okay, especially when it comes to the actual accounts or mapping numbers that you would want to pull through. You then click on the little accept button, and you can then close at this stage. Note that you can also leave this screen open, go to the next one, and then go and find that specific year-end date. So I'll go click on that one there. I'll click on accept, and I'll close the screen. Now we'll see that it pulls through a value of 42916. I'll then go click on home and go click on short date. If you wanted it to say 30th of June 2017, you can also go right click, format cells, and you can then go and select the relevant format that you want it to pull through in. Okay, so for now, can I quickly ask you to quickly go try that for me on your side? Okay, nice. So we've got those two. Now at this stage, the next one I'm going to be doing is slightly more tricky, but it's definitely something that we can look into if we wanted to pull it through to the working paper. If we want to pull through the overall materiality, assuming that we're using the probe audit methodology, I can also then go and select or type in here the overall materiality. Okay, this one's slightly more tricky. So what I've done earlier is I've actually opened up our overall materiality document, and I've populated with an amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, just as a test data. So I've actually done that already. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here and go click on CaseWare linkage. Okay, now that information that you type into the overall materiality will pull through to your case view data. And then I'm going to scroll down. Unfortunately, you can't yet search in this field here, but the area that I'm looking for is the assessed risk for the grouping. Okay, so I'm then going to make my way to the assessed risk grouping, and then it's going to be materiality and then overall, and I'm going to click on the value. You'll note on this screen here, you can also pull through the performance materiality on there as well. Okay, so I'm going to click on that first one there. Okay, and then while leaving that open, I can also at this stage go do the performance materiality and click on accept. Okay, and if there was any specific materiality, I could have then went and gone selected that overall. Okay, so the performance. Okay, and then just go and do that. And then my OCD kicks in a little bit there. I would want it to have commas and maybe like that there. Okay, so from an audit working papers perspective, that's quite nice because now this information will pull through irrespective on which client I'm working. It'll populate the amount from what I've typed in the actual document, in the overall materiality, as well as the performance materiality. You can go even further and even populate the specific materiality should there have been specific materiality. Cool. Now the rest of the working paper, just to quickly outline a normal working paper. Okay, I'm just going to quickly start you with first of all the, let's say for instance, area. Okay, and we'll say this is the cash and cash equivalents. Okay, and I'll start then with my cash book balance. Okay, and then the amount will pull through, and I'll then have my bank balance as per statement. Okay, and then I can even go and then obviously if there's a difference, okay, that'll then pull through there. Then I'll count back any deposits or outstanding checks. Let's just do this. Okay, and then lastly I'll have a difference which should in theory be 0 always. Okay, so I'll just quickly add that. Okay, so we'll just have the normal items there. And there we go. So just a normal layout for a normal cash reconciliation that we used to. Okay, so I'll just quickly also put in borders here. I'll just use this one. Cool. So I'm going to quickly ask you to replicate that look and feel for me on your side. Right, now once we're done, we can actually go. I just want to minimize these columns a little bit. It looks a bit too big. Maybe I'd want to put a little R for the currency and maybe put that in the middle, just so I can do that. Now, the cash book balance, that is something that I can pull through from the actual trial balance. So I can go click back onto my add-ins, go click on CaseWare linkage, okay, and I can then go and select that physical account. So if I click on accounts, I can then go and select it. Now, on your side, you might not see any trial balance accounts because it's on the default entity. So I'm just going to be going down to the lowest level and selecting Queen Industries. Once I've selected that, I will then see all of the accounts. Now the account number that we're going to be using for today will be in the range of the 8,000, 8,500, and now I'm going to be selecting that balance there. Okay, let me just quickly go a little bit more down. Okay, so that one there, which is going to be the Starling City deposits, the current account. Okay, I'm then going to go click on my little accept button and then close the screen. And that should then go and pull through my balances. Okay, again, I just want to quickly sort out all of this here. I would want it to come through to the send. Okay, so I'm going to quickly ask you to do the same for me on your side. Okay, now once we're done with that, we can then go in and also link the bank balance as per statement to the bank balance, not the physical amount, but actual the document that we're going to be dragging in. So again, from the documentation I gave you, I'll go click on connector, and I've actually given you a bank statement as well. Okay, so I'll be copying the bank statement. I'll be moving my way back to CaseWare, and within the 3220 section, under the bank recon, I can actually then go and say Control V. That'll then paste that document into my document manager, and I can now go and cross-reference this back into my bank statement. So I'll make my way back to my Excel document, and now I can then go and right-click, connector, and say document. Okay, I can then go scroll down and I can then find my bank statement.